Colin, special offer, handsome discount. More you save, the more you buy, or vice versa. Okay, this is being reported by Adam Schefter. The former Patriot left tackle Trent Brown is going to sign a 4-year, $66 million deal with the Oakland Raiders. Highest paid offensive lineman in NFL history. First of all, this is very dangerous by the Raiders because the Patriots offensive line coach is probably the best position coach in the NFL, Dante Scarnecchia. Everybody that leaves the Patriots offensive line, they come in average, they become great, they leave, and they go back to being average. Nate Solder, New York Giants. We thought he was great for years and years at left tackle, went to the Giants, wasn't very good. The best offensive lineman they have right now is Shaq Mason in New England. Second best was David Andrews. And to prove my point, he was undrafted, and he's become a very good player. Trent Brown was a Niner. They bailed on him. There was questions whether New England could get him to protect Brady, but Brady gets rid of the ball so quickly, you don't need a world-class left tackle. So the Patriots let him walk. The Niners let him walk. Good luck. You don't think Kyle Shanahan's smart? Let him walk. Don't think Belichick's smart? Let him walk. I mean, and here's the other thing. I understand the Raiders wanting to upgrade at left tackle because once you bring Antonio Brown into the fold, he's a deep threat. And Derek Carr is going to need somebody to protect him because he's going to be going for 5- and 7-step drops. The Patriots, Trent Brown never hurt them because they get rid of the ball so quickly, don't have a deep threat. Brady never gets hit. But if you bring Antonio Brown into the fold, you're going to be sitting back in the pocket waiting for him to break free. So you need a left tackle. Last year, the Raiders in the first round went and drafted a tackle from UCLA. They overdrafted him. They're going to move him over to right tackle because he can't play left tackle. So they didn't evaluate tackles very good last year. And now they're spending a fortune on Trent Brown, who Kyle Shanahan and Bill Belichick have said, no thanks. All right. I don't know. I got to be honest with you. It's sort of... So Khalil Mack, let him go. Amari Cooper, very reasonably paid young wide receiver, let him go. And now you just paid $66 million, 37 of it guaranteed for Trent Brown, who I don't think anybody in the league thinks is a top 10 left tackle. I'm not saying he's a disaster, but that's going to make him the highest paid offensive lineman in league history. Lord, that is something. Jay Glazer around the corner. Joy Taylor with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
So LeBron's first season with the Lakers has been interesting, to say the least. And throughout the season, he's placed some of the blame on his teammates, mainly targeting the younger players and questioning their desires. Let's take a listen to LeBron on February 23rd after a loss.
Basketball, is that the most important thing while we're doing this? Is this the most important thing in your life at this time? Give it all to that game, and then you feel like you put it all into it, then you have nothing to kind of look back on. How do you know what's at stake if you've never been there before?
Well, now an anonymous Western Conference executive is calling LeBron out for this. He said, all of a sudden, I'm seeing a different LeBron. He's throwing people under the bus, deferring and putting blame on somebody else instead of being like an old school guy and saying, I've got to do a better job. I've got to make my teammates better. Great players and great leaders, that's what they do. That's what Kobe would have done. That's what Michael Jordan would have done. Now, to be fair, I don't know that Michael always had the best relationship with all of his teammates.
It did not.
There have been some stories where things may have gotten physical.
Yeah, we're romanticizing Kobe and Michael's great leadership.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were both great leaders, but they both certainly had their moments with teammates. So
yes.
They don't have flawless reputations in that department. So to be fair to LeBron, I don't know if that's the best way to put things into context.
I don't think it's been a great leadership year for LeBron.
No, it hasn't.
But I could make a really good argument until this year. He's been a very good teammate. He's been, put your arms around everybody.
He's never really been big on young guys, and I think that's
right.
Because he doesn't. Maybe he's just in a different place mentally where he finds the monotony of teaching to be draining on him when he needs to focus on other things. That's why he likes to have a lot of veterans around to work with the young guys.
Historically, Joy, great players don't want to be teachers. They want to join other great players. That's why they join the Olympic team, even though it's the off season. I never blame a star player for losing patience. That's what a coaching staff is for.
Right. Well, exactly. Like there's difference between being a leader and being a teacher. And very rarely do you have both at the highest level. So I don't think this has been a great year for LeBron in that regard, but I don't know if that's like the most fair comparison to Jordan and Kobe. So the Antonio Brown saga is over. He will officially be an Oakland Raider on Wednesday, and the Steelers are getting a 3rd and 5th round pick for him. Antonio Brown also gets a new contract, the one he's been seeking with the Raiders, agreeing to pay him $54.1 million over the next 3 years, with $30 million guaranteed, making him the highest paid wide receiver in the league. And according to Adam Schefter, Antonio Brown's new contract, big raise, more guaranteed money, no New Year's added to it, has NFL teams distraught. Which makes sense.
Well, my takeaway is like people say, well, Atlanta now they're going to have to pay Julio Jones. No, you don't. You could move Julio Jones. You're not getting to the Super Bowl. You're not winning your division regularly. I don't. How you treat and pay players is up to you.
Well, it's a copycat league. And players definitely look at what other players are making in every single league and feel like they are on the same level and they deserve the same or more.
But you're not forced to pay anybody.
No, but it does set the bar for the highest level of talent and what they should be paid. And this is part of what Antonio Brown was pushing for this entire time, was he wants his contract. He wants to do things his way. And the Oakland Raiders obliged. And this is going to set the tone moving forward for contract negotiations. That's just how it works with every single position. Whenever someone gets paid, if they're on that level, and then obviously the next person will get paid more. Like everyone freaks out about the biggest contract, and then the next contract is bigger, and then eventually you're not the highest paid wide receiver in the league. But I don't think it was necessarily about being the highest paid wide receiver in the league for Antonio Brown, in as much as it was the guaranteed money and being in a situation where he was happy.
Yeah.
So, but I do understand why NFL teams would be freaking out, especially because, I mean, this is the league where they try to suppress personalities, and it's a salary cap league, and you look at what happens with the Patriots and Tom Brady taking less money. It makes sense. Finally, sticking with the Raiders, they have already acquired Antonio Brown, but they could land Le'Veon Bell too.
Oh boy.
According to Ian Rappaport, the Raiders are a sleeper team in the Bell sweepstakes and are willing to keep spending, as obviously we just saw.
I just
see the two of them there.
I like Le'Veon Bell. It's just, man, when you take a year off from a sport, I've not seen him. So the reports are he's 265. Now, the other thing about Le'Veon Bell, and I like him a lot, I think he's a good kid and a good player, a terrific football player. You know, he's like one of those pitchers that's had 270 innings like 4 years in a row, like Clayton Kershaw, and all of a sudden you wake up one day and Clayton Kershaw isn't the same pitcher. Le'Veon Bell has been a 250 carry guy, 80 catch guy. There are a lot of miles on those legs, and now, reportedly, he's put on like 40 pounds. I would love him if I could see him. If you'd show me Le'Veon, if you gave me a tape and he's 228 and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. I think all I would say is this. There's a risk with him, the miles, the weight, the disappearance, but I like him. I mean, I don't buy into running backs don't matter. When Todd Gurley... Now we find out had arthritic knee. When Todd Gurley sort of dissolved in the offense for the Rams, it was never the same offense. I love C.J. Anderson, but it was never the same offense.
No, he was clearly missed, and Le'Veon Bell is an incredible talent. He does have a year off from those miles, but like you said, what kind of shape is he in? To me, I don't know that it's so much of a problem of him being in shape, but just being away from football in general. There's a difference between just being in gym shape and being in football shape.
Yes.
And I just don't know if he's going to get the money that he was looking for, but somebody is going to sign Le'Veon Bell, and it would be very interesting to see him with the Raiders and Antonio Brown.
Good stuff, Joy, with the news.
Well, that's the news.